Errol Spence Jr. is going to fight Manny Pacquiao August 21st in Vegas. Ooh, that's going to be a tough fight for Pacquiao, but my God, what a good fight that will be.
Yeah,
What do you think?
Here's what it comes, part of what it comes down, Ken. The first thing, when does this special, magical man and humanitarian, iconic champion, humanitarian to all the great people in Philippines, politician, so many different division champion, just like I said, an iconic fighter. When does he get old? That's what it is. That's it. I just said it. When does he get old? I know he's been beating the crap out of Father Time for a while now. Beating the you-know-what out of him. Nobody beats Father Time. But he has been putting a beating on Father Time. He has. I mean, he goes and he beats a young Thurman, one of the biggest welterweights, one of the most athletic welterweights and fighters in the business. He goes and beats Thurman. I mean, it was extraordinary. Nobody thought he could do that. But here he is now. He's in the same sort of position. Let's not forget. I know some people are going to say, "Oh, Teddy, Errol Spence is better than Thurman." But at that time, I don't know. Thurman had taken time off, so maybe you didn't see the best Thurman. He had taken time off. He had one fight back after 2.5 year layoff. That affected him. The one fight that he came back, he didn't look good. He got caught a lot of shots. He didn't look good at all. And then he fought Pacquiao. Maybe he should have had at least one more fight. I don't know. But whatever it was, Pacquiao beat a young, strong, good welterweight, undefeated welterweight champion. And now he's in the same position, but it's a few years later. I mean, first of all, Pacquiao hasn't fought for how long? How long's it been now?
It's got to be 2 years when he finally gets back in, at least. But let me check the exact date.
Yeah, check at that. So here he is coming off. Not only is he 40, what is he, 42 now? He's 42, I believe, right? And you let me know. And
he's 42.
And he's coming off in activity, but maybe it works reverse with guys like him. Maybe it's like hibernation. Maybe it's like suspended animation, where
July of 19, he will have exactly just over 2 years off.
Listen, that's terrible for some fighters. For a guy with as many miles on the odometer, as much experience as Manny has, maybe it's suspended animation. Maybe it's a good thing. Really. Maybe it's a good thing. Maybe it serves him because he's not taking punishment and somehow he can stay young and continue to do what most people don't do, turn back the clock. So maybe it doesn't hurt him. Maybe it actually serves him. Maybe. But listen, Manny's a proud guy. He always he's never run away from anybody, and he's picking a tough one. He's picking a big welterweight. You got to remember, when Manny turned pro, he was about as big as your favorite jockey. Who's your favorite jockey? You know what I mean? I love Johnny Velasquez. I love Cordero. I love Mike Smith. I like Lunzi. I love all those guys. They come to my charity foundation dinner all the time, and they're very charitable people, very good people. So I love all those guys. But that's how big he was. They're small, in other words, and he was small. And now he's all the way up to 147 pounds, and he's fighting a real solid, big welterweight in Errol Spence, a young guy in his prime, strong southpaw. So Manny's not going to have the advantage of being a southpaw in the ring. He's not going to have that.
He started out at 108 pounds at light flyweight.
There it is, Kenny. 108 pounds. I said 105, so I'm off by 3 pounds. He was a jockey. He could have, thank God he became
back in 1995.
If he didn't become a fighter, he would become he would have won a Kentucky Derby. And he goes and he's fighting a solid, big, huge welterweight who's an Olympian, who's got all the background, all the amateur background, the pedigree. He's got everything. He's undefeated. He's a good puncher. He goes to the body. He's relentless with his pressure. Manny's doing what Manny does. He's taking a huge challenge here, a huge risk. And again, I said it earlier. I wonder how Crawford feels that he lost the sweepstakes here. Because everyone wants to fight Manny because you get more money, right? It's a big fight. It's a huge fight. You're fighting an icon. And Crawford wanted it. His promoter couldn't deliver it. And now what happens? Obviously, the promoter for Spence did deliver it. They were able to make it. So you wonder how Crawford's feeling about that right now. But either way, Crawford or Spence, they were going to be really difficult fights for Manny. And he's got to deal with this relentless, big, strong southpaw that's undefeated, that's just going to put pressure on him. Listen, I don't know. It doesn't seem like a good idea at 42 years of age and being inactive for 2 years. It doesn't seem like a good idea for Manny. But you know what? That's part of the magic of being great, and part of the magic of being Manny is that he turns a lot of things that don't seem like good ideas into good ideas. That's what great ones do. It didn't seem like a good idea when Muhammad Ali was going to Zaire to fight Foreman. People thought he was going to get killed. They thought he was going to get physically hurt. His own team thought, oh my God, we're going to be carrying this guy out of here. And nope. The great ones have a way. They have a way. I don't know. Manny Pacquiao, 42 years old. We're going to see. We'll see what happens. But it's a huge challenge. Manny's one of the fastest fighters you're ever going to see. The speed's not quite what it used to be. He's going to need it. He's going to need every bit of it. He used to have great legs, being able to get in and out, go to the sides. He's going to need that at 42. I don't know if he could depend on those wheels anymore. I don't know. But he's going to need them. He's going to need to give him angles. He's going to need those quick hands. He's going to need to hurt. And he always had power, man. He carried it all the way up to all these weight classes. He was a natural puncher. I think he's going to need to hurt Spence at some point to slow him down, to gain his respect, to make him think, to make him blink. I think he's going to have to do that. But he's also going to have to be smart, and be able to get angles and, as I said, use the attributes that he's had for so many years. Can he still use them? We're going to see. He's a special guy, Manny. It's the kind of fight that a part of you, with the respect that I have for Manny and the love that I have for such great people, is that I don't want to see him go out bad. I never want to see the great fighters go out bad. I never want to see him stay too long, like Ali stayed. You know what I mean? Joe Louis, Ali, they stay too long. It breaks your heart. I mean, as great as Rocky Marciano was, and Rocky Marciano, the only undefeated heavyweight champion ever, great. Brockton blockbuster, it's great. Him and Marvin Hagler came from Brockton, unbelievable. Two of the greatest. As great as he was, that wasn't Joe Louis in the ring with him. At the end of Joe Louis's career. And you just hate to see the great ones, stay too long. And I just wonder if this is going to be one of those moments where when it's all over with and we're doing our show afterwards, Ken, that I hope we're not saying, it was what we thought it could be. He stayed too long. I hope not.
On the other hand, maybe he pulls a Phil Mickelson and shocks the world.
That's beautifully said, Ken. Perfect segue, because Mickelson just did that. Old lefty, and he's a lefty. He's a southpaw. He's a you might be onto something. Here, I'll drink to that. Yeah, you might be onto something. It might be in the air. For the old timers.